Hit the mic switch behind you.
There you go. You got that?
That's why it works.
Very good. There you go.
Good evening and welcome to the Vernon Hills Park District Board of Park Commissioners meeting. Our June 26, 2014 is 6:37 p.m. I have a roll call, please.
Vice President Dorhofer, Commissioner Mullane, Commissioner Kessler. Here. Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
President Bloom.
Present. We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started this evening, one change to the agenda. Under new business, committee liaison appointments, we're going to table that item for the July meeting. All right, seeing that, we'll move on to the omnibus vote agenda. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and or non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Items on this evening's omnibus vote agenda are A, minutes of the regular board meeting of May 22nd, 2014, B, payables and payroll through June 26th, 2014, in the amount of $900,997.64. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler.
Yes.
President Bloom.
Yes. All right, next up is our welcome period to visitors and guests, public comment. Seeing no great rush to the podium, we will move on. Financial reports for the period ending June 26, 2014. Marla, these are on record and available for review by any and all.
Yes, but it's reports ending May 31st,
Okay, I apologize, I just read my script.
2014. Thank you.
So it's going to be May 31st.
Yes, May 31st.
Then next up is reports and communication, and first up is our executive director, Jeff Boudreau.
Okay, thank you. There an echo in here?
Yep.
Yes. I feel like there's a little echo on those mics.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you, Stuart. So in your packet was a community survey draft, and I would ask if you had any questions relative to that, or if you have any potential questions that you'd like to see added to the survey, to let me know. Marty Walsh is working with Lynn Randall, and we'd like to get this live in the next couple weeks. So, share with me any of those items that you think may be specific, and then we can look to incorporate those. And so, the plan of attack here is to get most of this done online through survey methods, and then the data completed in probably around mid-September. So we'll have a good 2 months that we'll have this thing out there, and then have the data completed and sorted by early October, and then we'll tie that in with our benchmark work, the study that'll come from the NRPA Pro Regis, that we've been working with them for the last couple of years on that. And then we'll set up, I sent you all a schedule of strategic planning workshops. Those will be scheduled in November, December, I think it's mostly November and January. We've got a schedule for the board. There's a meeting, I don't know the date off in front of me, but I think it's November 12th, which would be I believe it's an evening meeting.
November 13th.
13th, thank you, Amy. And So that would be like a week before. I think it's a Thursday evening. I scheduled it, typically with our board meetings. So that would be a workshop we would do with a facilitator, and probably the board and myself, perhaps Marla from just some of the financial end of it. And then we would, prior to that, we're gonna have an all-staff retreat, and then we will combine efforts with board and staff at a January date. And I think that's on a Saturday. I wanna say it's January 10th. So let me know if you have any conflicts with those dates. And obviously, a lot of the detail we get from the survey is gonna be valuable and helpful. And, it'll help us in our efforts to get another plan together for the next 5 years for just strategic efforts for the agency. I gave you today just a quick email. Cheryl was able to obtain from the village. We got our unit lineup number for the parade. The parade's a week from tomorrow. It's July 4th already. Can't believe that. So 9 a.m. kickoff, right off Deer Path Road there. Wear your, elegant white polos that we have. Bruce, we got you one with a horse on it this year. So let me know if you're not gonna be able to, but the way it's, Mike is gonna be driving the vehicle, we'll have bubbles. And then Marty has worked with our Summer of Service camp, which we have about 10 or 12 junior high students that will be passing out information about the camp, but mostly about a program we're looking to do. We're donating books, and we'll have some established sites that people can drop off. Sullivan, Lashen, Lakeview. They can drop off these books for Bernie's Books, which is an entity in Lake Forest that collects books, and then they provide them to people that can't afford it. And so it's a good needy program. And so our young participants will be helping do that. At the same time, they could be good runners for you guys, we have one of our park staff in the back so you guys can just walk along, and then they'll feed you those bubbles so you don't have to keep running back and forth. So I think we got a good system. And then we're gonna be also hosting Band of the Black Watch, which is a large drum and bugle corps that we're sponsoring, so they'll be marching behind the park board. And then the evening entertainment in Century Park, big fun band, that'll go on from 6:30 to 9:30, and we're sponsoring that as well. I passed along just to the president recently, and I'll get that to the rest of the board this next coming week. We had hired WT Engineering to do an assessment, an MEP assessment of this facility, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. We also did a structural and roofing assessment as well. And so we took those findings, and we're somewhere around $500,000 over a 5-year period of improvements that are pretty necessary to keep this building alive and well, and keep us safe as well. So, I just bring that to the board's attention, because I think those are some necessary evils we're gonna have to really take a close look at from an expense standpoint. Most of it isn't mechanical. Then there's some cosmetic things if we needed to address. So I'll get you all a copy of that. Our cricket pitch, we did a complete renovation on that with the surface, so we did a concrete pad, and that's opening this weekend.
Yeah,
Correct, Tom?
started yesterday.
Started yesterday,
So
okay.
class.
So our staff did all the restoration on it, and I was out there tonight. It looks good, looks good. So they're happy with that. I know Marla's gonna touch base on this idea in our youth grant a little bit. Peterson Park tennis courts, we're just waiting on the color code right now. They came out last week, and they laid out just some a quick glide surface to make sure that there's no bird baths that end up coming. So they took care of that, and then gotta let that cure for a few days, and then we'll get the color code down. We've been really disappointed with this contractor because of their timeliness on just following through. Mike has been on them every day, and there's a lot of just lack of response, but, we were holding about 30,000 to have them come and complete this, and we finally got them out there about a week ago, and they've had since mid-April to late April with decent weather. Maybe not so much April, but at least the first part of May, because you gotta wait for temperatures to be a certain degree before you did this application, so, we're fully aware of this contract, and we'll just never use them again, quite plain and simple. Hartman Park, you're all aware of the 30 to 35 ash trees that we gotta remove from there. The Parks Department plans on putting at least 20 trees up this fall, so we'll make somewhat of that dent, we'll get that back. And then obviously, we'll work, Mike and Regina have taken over the tree and bench donor program. We pulled that out of Cheryl's hands, because they're really, kind of the experts on that when they get a call. So we'll obviously be working a little bit more diligent in terms of if there is a donor that comes in, we're gonna ask that they, look to put it in Hartman Park, because, losing 35 trees and they're gonna start that program next week. So it'll take them all that week, and you're gonna see it's gonna be pretty barren in there. There's some pretty mature trees, pretty mature ash trees in there, so. Our next park chat, believe it or not, is next Tuesday night. So I know Cheryl has sent out all to Sugar Creek Park. Sugar Creek is kind of at the tail end of our Sullivan Woods path. Small subdivision that borders Buffalo Grove there, right off of Buffalo Grove Road. So the entrance coming off Sugar Creek there. So that's a 6:30 start. And then just the final is just our Lakeview Fitness Center marketing plan. Cheryl and Matt have predominantly been working on this with Scott Chavanek, who's an outside consultant that we brought in to do this. Scott's done some other work for us in the past, and he's an expert in the fitness industry for over 30 years. So he's we've invited him to our July board meeting. We would like to have had him here tonight, but he's on a family vacation for a couple weeks, so he'll come and just do, he likes to talk a lot, and so we am I right, Cheryl?
Yes.
He does, yeah.
More than Tom?
Yeah. More than Tom, less than me, and so we tried to have him focus on just what he feels are some significant initiatives that we have in place, but the main thing I think with this plan is it really helps our Lakeview staff identify just those hot items that we should put in place for membership incentives, whether it's, a specific event that we think could draw people in. And so, again, I think Scott's background and his expertise in this is prevalent, but it also gives Matt and his staff the time, June, July, August, moving out for a whole calendar year, what they can do in terms of, trying to recruit and get people in the door. That would conclude my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Robbins?
Just a point of information, Jeff. This building, does the Park District own this building?
No, it's owned by the village.
That's what I thought. So why are we concerned about the costs? Shouldn't we be?
Because the deal we made when we moved in here 12 years ago, I want to say it was 02, or yeah, I think it was around.
About 03, I think.
02, 03. Yeah, they give us the building for $1 a year, and everything that comes with it, we pay for it.
I must owe about $10 by now.
Yeah. Keep quiet, Marla.
Only part of accounts payable.
So yeah, that was the deal. So we are still a tenant for the agreement, but everything that comes with it, we, unlike most landlord-tenant situations, we're responsible for all. And we've put a lot of money into this place over the last 12 years, and
HVAC has been crazy.
I would guess we easily put $500,000 into this place over the last 12 years we've been here. That's a guess, but, so, all the more reason, and then I'll shut up, is to get us into a facility, I think, that is uniform with, specifically the Sullivan Center. So, that's all I have. Anything else? Anybody?
Nothing else for Jeff?
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you,
Just
Jeff.
those two dates, November 13th and January 10th, those are all staff and board meetings.
The November 13th date is just the board and myself, and as I said, and whoever we bring on as a facilitator. The Jan 10th date is everybody, all board and all full-time staff, full-time.
Okay. All right. Next up, Finance and HR Superintendent Martha Mira.
Good evening. Under new business tonight, you'll be approving the prevailing wage ordinance, and that's just an ordinance that we're required to do each year in June to determine the prevailing wage rate paid to laborers, mechanics, et cetera, for public works projects in the county. And rather than determining our own rates, we use the rates as provided by Lake County, and it's that long list that comes at the back of the ordinance. We have started the process of reviewing potential financial software to replace our current product by Harris, our MSI system. I unfortunately was out of town, but Debbie and Les went to a seminar put on by the Bolingbrook Park District, and it was a nice way to see the software, because it's software that's currently used by park districts, and they had the vendor there to give a demonstration. So there's two softwares that we're interested in that we're gonna follow up with now more closely and explore them more in depth. And as Jeff had mentioned, we were awarded a grant from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. This is maybe the third year, I believe, we've received the grant, a youth grant, helping to put youth to work. We were awarded the grant in the amount of $20,160 for up to 5 employees, who can each work a total of 60 days in the months of June, July, and August. To date, we've hired 3 employees, and we're still working on trying to get 2 more. Cheryl will be sending out a press release so that we can, get the word out and see if we can capture 2 more employees. Any questions?
On the accounting software, will they then be able to sit down with us and listen to what we need so they can design reports that are beneficial to us?
Yeah, actually, what we're looking at and what we're most interested in are systems now that really let you on the fly create your own reports. Most of them have some type of a system now where it's more easily downloaded into Excel or some type of a report writing feature. So you can just go in and say, I want this, 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 and this, and it will create a report. So that's one of our, a big focus in what we're looking for, that kind of flexibility.
And with the new software, are we looking to just replace the company we're with, trying to go with someone new, or are they involved, are they part of the process as well?
They are discontinuing support of their current software. They've gone with a new company called Smart Fusion out of, I believe, South Carolina. It's being used by so far one park district, Bartlett Park District. We've had such terrible customer support lately that it's hard for us to even want to look at their product. We'll consider it, and I want to see how it does with Bartlett, because supposedly they have a new customer service team. But they really just went out and bought someone else's product and are trying to offer something else. What we really want to do is at the same time look at this in conjunction with our registration software, because we always have the issue of we have 2 separate softwares and then you have to get them to work together. So if we went with a financial software that also had the registration component that we could maybe at some point in time move to as well, would be great. There's just not many choices out there, so we may have to go with the best finance and the best registration to get them work together. RecTrack is coming out with a totally new, more cloud-based version. So we have yet to kind of see what that is to see how serious we would be about moving from RecTrack. The other big thing in making a selection is, can they move our current information into their system. Some, no problem, they can upload it, and some, they can upload some things, not other things, and it would be horrible to lose all that history.
Okay. And then just a quick question on the hiring these youths for just a quick 3-month period. I mean, it seems like it would have been nice if you could have been advertising for this a while ago. It seems like it kind of a tight.
Yeah, it's something that's just been one of those time things with the state each year. Our application went in May, but it didn't get approved by the state to announce it till June.
Application went in April 6th.
Oh, was it April? Okay. But you're not allowed to announce it or do anything about it until it's awarded, and it wasn't awarded till June 16th.
Okay, it just seems like it puts you
It's-
behind the 8 ball.
It does.
Get people,
And this
get
is
people
better
hired.
than they've been in other years.
Yeah.
And you can't
we
use
would-
anyone existing.
Yeah,
You
we
have to get
addressed
new
this
employees.
with our reps,
Okay.
both Representative Sente and Senator Link, because as well as many other districts, we're hiring in March, and most of our staff are hired by the first week of April. So to be told, yeah, here June, you can hire after June 16th. Well, what happens is everybody, you can't find kids. They've all got jobs, and then, most people, and then here we are, we've got this allocation for 5 staff at 20,000, and we're scrambling to just find people to fill the need. So it's been, we've continued. Last year was July 1st, and we didn't find out till July 12th. How you gonna hire somebody on July 12th, and, especially the youth where they're going back to school a month later. So this, we were able to get a few people in right now. I think Mike's working on a 4th.
And I know they really like to get a babysitter over at Lakeview, so if anyone knows,
Yeah.
someone who's interested in doing some babysitting over at Lakeview, that was a position they were trying to be able to use this for.
So,
Do we have to spend the whole 20,000?
no.
Whatever we don't spend, we have to return. I have to provide payroll reports, and the only thing we have to pay is payroll taxes, but otherwise they pay the hourly wage.
Because that's a nice summer job for somebody earning, if it's 5 people over.
Yeah, they get $9 an hour is what they get paid.
Yeah, so it's above minimum wage. Again, the emphasis here is it'd be nice if they notified us in March, and
That was my point.
they approved it by May 1st, or even, so that would still give us a little time, but.
You give them a call.
Is there an age limit?
Yeah. There is no age limit. There's an age limit in terms of what you can pay. So if you're 18 or under, it's a youth grant. You're gonna pay them $9 an hour. If you're 19 or over, then you have to pay $12 an hour.
And then there are supervisory
And they
positions.
have to be a supervisor
So
position.
if you're a 15-year-old young man.
Yes, they would qualify.
Okay.
Send your son to us.
He's coming to work tomorrow.
Yes, it does, it starts at age 15, I believe. I think it's 15 to 18.
I think so, but I don't have it in front of me. I will double check though.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Get him out of that.
Oh, yeah, we work permit.
Anyway, that's, it's a personal thought. Okay.
That's for another meeting.
Okay, so, next up, first of all, any other questions from Marlon? Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, next is Recreation Superintendent, Tom Ritter.
Good evening. Touching on just a couple things of the past, we did have our kids fishing day on June 7th, and we had our highest turnout ever. Nothing exorbitant, but we usually get around 50 kids. Last year we were in the 60s and we had 70 turnout. We always seem to have good luck. People have a great time. It still amazes me how many people, both children and parents, that they don't know which end is up on a fishing pole. They've truly never done it. So it's fun to give them that exposure, that experience. They always seem to have a really good time. So thanks again to the Libertyville Fishing Club for bringing out the fishermen. We had a great day. The following week on the 14th, we had our semi-annual now, Recyclorama. We had 376 cars come through in that 3-hour window. I believe that's the high end of our normal, I call it high end of normal. It's a good turnout, but not a record turnout. But what did impress us is the number of people that were shredding paper. Representative Sente, I want to thank her. She always spearheads this portion of the event, bringing out the shredding truck. But it's usually a lower percentage of the people. More people are bringing electronics. But 140 of the people participated with paper shredding, and that's a lot. That's almost 50% more than last year, so it's nice to see people taking advantage of that. And the big number, we did get some statistics back sooner than normal, and there's over 21,000 pounds of electronics that we collected to recycle. From what I was told, it's the first one I missed, but there was a lot of projection televisions, and I thought those were all gone by now, but they say there's still a few more years of those to go, so tough to lift, but nice to help get out of the electronic mix of society, so another good event. For the 5th year in a row, we've hosted a lacrosse tournament at Deer Path Park. It's a recruiting tournament for college coaches to see the high school players. It's a pretty big time event. They're very happy with the facility. It was held the 16th through 18th of June. It's become an annual thing now. And I just like to make sure that Joe Bruntmeyer and Matt Schiller are recognized, because Joe spends a lot of time getting that tournament set up and coordinated and getting an agreement in place. A lot of operational issues, and then Matt Schiller makes the fields look so nice, gets them all lined out. He spends his time out there during the week making sure everything goes as planned. And I always want to thank Glacier Ice Arena, because they're always very cooperative in letting us use their parking lot, because otherwise it'd be a problem. We only let, for the most part, the people that use our parking lot are the staff of that tournament and the college coaches. Otherwise, they direct all of them to park at Glacier or in the streets on the legal parking side of the streets. So, I always give you at this time of year an annual snapshot of where we are with aquatics, Family Aquatic Center, I should say. We all know how the spring was. Sometimes we say, I don't know why we're doing so well other than it's hot, and I don't know why we're doing bad other than it's cold. Well, it was obviously a bad spring, so our past sales were down. I don't see any reason why we can't hit our normal range of about $150,000 in sales. We still do that sometimes, even in June when we get a hot spell, so just hoping for a couple of, and I think this weekend will be one of those 85, 90-degree weekends, and maybe we'll sell some more passes. As far as daily passes go, 2 years ago it was hot. You can see our sales was very high. Last year it was cold, our sales were bad. This year it looks like we're close to where we were in 2012, but it's not quite that way. I made a little asterisk on this report. Our Living Social deal typically doesn't reimburse us that quickly, but they reimbursed us sooner than normal, so that number is factored in here. So if you take out that $7,000, I'd say we're in the normal range of how we're doing so far, but things can change for the better or worse real quick. This coming weekend is one of my favorites, our family camp out at the Family Aquatic Center. We close at about 4:30 on Saturday. If people hear this by then, for this special event, the 28th, and goes into the morning of the 29th, Sunday. We now have 47 people signed up, 47 campsites reserved. Probably in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 people when it's all said and done. It's great. People come in leisurely. They have the facility to themselves for swimming. Tony Rodkey, thank you, from Countryside Fire. He always comes out and gets the campfire going. It's nice to have a fireman watching the fire for us. Very calming. We get the s'mores going. The lines show up. Everybody loves the s'mores. And once sunset hits, we have an outdoor movie. We're showing Despicable Me 2 this year. And in the morning, Bobo's prepares pancakes and sausage breakfast for everybody, and they can go home and enjoy their Father's Day. So, no, not Father's Day.
Sunday.
Once it was on Father's Day. They'll enjoy their Sunday, I'll put it that way. So, yeah, we'll probably have about 50 tent sites by the time we get to the event with some walk-ups. And two more slightly down the road, sooner than later, I guess. Our annual participation in summer celebration will have our usual hole-in-one. Hitting the wiffle golf balls out onto the green on Little Bear Lake. Jessica's done a great job getting donations of 4 rounds of golf, as well as the usual. If you get it on the green, you get a t-shirt. If you get it in the hole, you get the free golf. So we hope people will participate during that event. And then in a couple weeks, but early July, we'll have our tickets available for Summer Splash, our annual pool party on August 1st, Friday, August 1st. From 5:30 to 8 p.m. Tickets are only $1 until the day of the event. That's when it jumps to $5. So I encourage people to come in by July 31st. Some people do like to buy their ducks for our duck race in advance. Those will be available right after the 4th of July, you can get them at the Sullivan Center. They're $1, or you can get 6 of them for $5. Carnival games, pool games, it's a fun night. DJ playing music, kids dancing, so. That's my report, unless there's any questions.
Questions for Tom? Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yep.
All right, next up would be our Park Superintendent, Mike Mormon, but someone allowed him to go on vacation this summer, so can't imagine that. So, anything we should know?
Just one real quick thing, starting next week, our park staff, mainly Matt Schiller, is gonna be helping the village stripe out 23 lacrosse fields out at VHAC, and then there's actually a few over on the Stevenson site. So that Pipe City tournament, which has 202 teams coming into town and over 10,000 people, that they will be coming in, and that's scheduled for that following weekend when they start up. So it takes Matt. Matt is really the lead guy on this. So kudos to him, because he spends probably a good 3 or 4 days nonstop laying out fields. And so, yeah, so it's going to be busy around VHEC right after 4th of July when they start their tournament. So everything else in there I pretty much talked to you about under my report, so that's all.
Okay, great. All right, Communications Manager Cheryl Vernon.
Good evening. Our fall brochure is almost complete. The annual report is complete. I'll just be waiting to put that to the printer when I send the fall brochure. It will get mailed the week of July 28th. We do have a section in it announcing our community survey. I had created a QR code, so that will be on the front cover and also on the inside page where people can scan it with their smartphone, and it'll take them right to the survey. So that's something new. I just added another page. We don't have it filled out, but Matt and I had met regarding the Lakeview strategic plan, and we are gonna put like at least a half page or more about some fall initiatives at Lakeview. So I'll be putting that in before, obviously, it goes to print. As far as press releases, I wrote a couple, and it was sent one out for RibFest, and the village ran with it, and they've already blasted it, probably within 10 minutes of me sending it. Marty was a little nervous about that, but it's our initial announcement of it, and so it's getting out there. Also, I sent out a park pass today. That's not my report. RibFest is also in the park pass. As far as the RibFest website, Marty is still putting all the information in, so it will be up and running within a couple weeks. I did put the website on there and announcing that to check back in mid-July for event details. That's getting connected to our web link, our new website. Again, our park chat announced it. Just what I do on our park chat cards, I always put the next event coming up on the back. So Summer Splash, what Tom talked about, is also announced on our park chat card. And then the July one will announce RibFest on the back of that. Let's see, everybody talked about all my stuff. RibFest, this year, new to this year, we've already secured it. We're gonna have radio station 102.3 XLC, which is a Lake County station. They're gonna broadcast live on Friday night for 2 hours from the event, and then on Saturday for 2 hours, they're sending their truck with all the bells and whistles, not broadcasting, but there'll be people there giving up freebies. And they'll be announcing starting August 1st, 60-second commercials all month long regarding the RibFest. And we'll be doing a trade with some sponsorship for them. So that's new to the event this year. I think it's gonna be really a nice addition. On the back of mine, just again, regarding our website, our current one, quite an increase in people coming to it. Aquatics and fitness obviously is our most popular areas people go to. As far as our new website, I do have a demo with it being complete. So they have moved all of our information over. We're just in the stage where I'm going page by page, reading it, changing copy. I actually have to send them the copy to change at this point, and just making sure everything makes sense. We're also incorporating our intranet, which is our internal staff, what we call the company file. Randy's helping out with that, and we're going to have that all put together. So hopefully within a couple weeks, we'll be able to have it go live. Just a lot of reading right now, making sure it all makes sense. And that is my report.
Any questions for Cheryl? I have one.
Sure.
RibFest, who are the bands?
Who are the bands? Okay, well, Friday night is Amber Hayes and then followed by Keith Anderson, that's like our country night. And then Saturday night, we'll start with, the Red, White, and Blue, and then we go to the Junior Wells Tribute Band, and then back from last year is Trampled Underfoot at 9. And I'm not sure if we secured anybody for the beer tent, remember last year we had some entertainment?
It's on the bubble.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that, but,
Trampled underfoot.
That was the main act last year that did so well on.
One with the young lady.
yes.
Yes.
Her two brothers.
Two brothers and a sister.
They're Saturday night at
Outstanding.
9.
They were outstanding.
And they were available, and we stick to it.
Absolutely, they were by far the highlight of the event.
And we have one new group vendor this year.
Oh.
I just got their logo. It's a two-worder.
Yeah.
Starts
Just Norris,
Just-
Zion.
Anyway, actually,
somewhere north.
we have a new one, so we do have a
Yeah.
new
So
group
that
vendor.
brings it up
Oh,
to
wait,
6 or
It's-
7?
It's 5.
Did we lose one?
Yeah, we have 5, one
One
of
year, we
them,
went from-
Sweet Baby Ray's will not be with us this year.
Okay.
And they we went from 5 to 6 to 5. And with Sweet Baby Ray's out, this one is the one replacing them at 5.
Are they somebody local?
It's a suburb like Zion or Waukee. It's in very north town, but yes, it's Lake
I'll
County.
see if I can find it, well, we will.
Okay.
I know the blues night with the Red, White, and Blues band, they've been a regular.
Yep.
And then the tribute,
Junior Wells.
Junior
Tribute
Wells
Wells.
Tribute.
It's Buzz Kilman. You remember Buzz Kilman? He was Johnny B's partner with the harmonica, so he's performing with a group of guys that, do a lot of, the harp, and so, yeah, that should be pretty. I saw, Jim, in the paper recently, Independence Grove had a recent blues night.
Yes, we did. We had John,
Is it John?
he was there Tuesday night. John, I think his name is.
I'm not a big blues,
He was very well received.
We
I mean,
love
in
blues,
terms-
come on
In
now.
terms of just the knowledge.
blues.
I like the blues, I do like the blues, I just don't, is it John Primer or something
Yeah,
like that?
John, it was John, it's not John Prine, it's
You
John.
can say that, John.
It's not John, it's John Priner.
Primer, and he's played with all the,
Right.
but they really enjoyed him apparently.
Yes.
You guys charge, right? Don't you charge like,
We charge a parking fee per car.
oh,
So it's $6 per car.
how many cars you get in?
450. That's what we had, 450 that night.
At $6 a piece, what is that, Bruce?
24,000.
That's what they reported.
Yeah, that's right, so. Anyway, okay, thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Commissioner Committee Reports and Communications. First up is Park District Village Liaison Committee. I guess I will do that one. Actually, it's a combo with village, school, everybody. It was kind of a busy week for myself and Vice President Dorhofer. We met just to find out what we're looking at is the total plan for the Sullivan Center Hawthorne Library campus. I'll call it that because I don't have a better word for it. The village had asked all of us to kind of get together and come up with maybe some sort of a master plan of how we would like to see that whole area eventually developed and what uses would be for it and everything. And so we just had a couple of meetings to kind of talk it over and see where it was going. And some of them were, I thought they were informative, but we don't have a whole lot to tell you right now because no one's really made decisions on it. So basically that was the gist of our meetings, and we'll move from there. So, okay. Hawthorne School District 73 Liaison, Mr. Robbins.
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Community High School District 128, Mr. Kessler.
Nothing.
And then we did have a rec advisory meeting. That's on
July.
We have one in July coming up. Okay, good to know. And then we do have some board correspondence. So I'm gonna have to give it out. Thanks. That yellow is it? Yeah, there's one from IDNR. Okay, first one is up from, we received a letter from Macy's. It's addressed to Vernon Park District and Jeff Brugeru. Macy's is thrilled to present Aspen Backyard Park with an enclosed check for $250 generated from this year's Macy's Park Your Park campaign. Macy's partnered with the National Parks and Recreation Association to help raise awareness and funds for local parks across the country. Macy's asked customers to give a little love back to their local park by donating $1 more at the register. It's exhilarating that so many of our customers embraced and actively participated in the cause by making a donation this past March. At Macy's, giving back is a cornerstone of our brand. We are proud to support our local parks and green spaces throughout the country. Sincerely, Candace Greener-Tonin. She's the Vice President of the store at Macy's Hawthorne Center. Thank you, Macy's. And next up, from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, I am pleased to inform you that the above referenced project has been approved at the dollar amount indicated as part of the 2014 Illinois Youth Recreation Corps grant program administered by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. That dollar amount is $20,160. Your project was one of 150 projects awarded, representing approximately $9 million in funding assistance. You will be contacted for the implementation of your grant division. And once again, congratulations on being one of the successful applicants, and thank you for your efforts to help employ youth this summer. Mark Miller is the director. Thank you, Mark. All right, and then next, we have no unfinished business. We have a little new business. First up is the prevailing wage ordinance. I need a motion to approve ordinance 3-14, the ordinance adopting prevailing wage rates to be paid to laborers, mechanics, and other workers performing construction of public works for the Vernon Hills Park District.
So moved.
I second.
Or, yes. I'm sorry.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
President Baloo?
Yes. Okay. Next is the Lakeview Fitness Center steam room bid recommendation. Need a motion to award the Lakeview Fitness Center steam room renovation project to Pinnacle Development of Forest Park, Illinois, in the amount of $29,500.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
President Baloo?
Yes. And seeing that we've tabled the last item, we're up to commissioner comments. I've got nothing for tonight. Commissioner Robbins.
And nothing tonight.
Commissioner Kessler?
I'll just add, I happened to be at the liaison meeting with the village, and that was my first time attending, and I was just very impressed, and I liked the way the dialogue went, and I think that's a great thing to continue doing. Obviously, we continue doing it, but it was my first time experiencing it, and so it was good to see. It was good to see the communication between the two governments.
We were glad to have you. Okay, seeing we have nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Kessler?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
President Baloo?
Yes, and we are adjourned. Thank you.